FM HD3 and worldwide at WOLDCnews.com.
The following program is paid for by Barbara Arnwine.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the host and guests and do not necessarily reflect the views of Urban One Incorporated, Radio One, or any of its subsidiary companies.
It's time now for Igniting Change, a weekly provocative and empowering program where you, the listener, can ignite change. Now here's your host, Barbara Arnwine.
Get up, stand up.
Good afternoon, everyone. And good morning to the West Coast and to the mighty Midwest. Hey, Deep South. You know you got it going on, Northeast. You come on now, New Jersey. We'll be there soon. Oh, my goodness, so much going on. Welcome to our Igniting Change show for today. We got a lot to talk about. But you know, before I can get into the substance of the show, I got to invite my co-host to the platform. None other than one of the most amazing lawyers, bold, creative strategists. You know, I'm talking about the chair of the board of the Transformative Justice Coalition, one of our best attorneys ever, none other than Daryl D. Jones. Hey, Daryl.
Hey, Barbara, must be Tuesday, must be noon Eastern Standard Time because we're talking igniting change. My goodness, Barbara, I say it, and I say it again. It seems as though a week is too much time to go by for us to be on the radio talking about what's happening. Because all of a sudden we got Portland, Oregon jumping off, got Memphis, Tennessee jumping off, still jumping off in Chicago. My goodness, there's so much that's going on this past week. It's just incredible. But you know, Barbara, I'm really excited because we have an incredible lineup of guests that are going to be with us today.
Yes.
And one of the things that's most exciting is what we're able to talk about with regards to what we just did this past Wednesday and weekend during the Congressional Black Caucus. So I can barely wait to get into talking about the training, getting to talk about the substance of the anniversaries, Barbara.
Absolutely. And also, people, everybody out there, you're all worried like we are about what's going to happen by midnight with this, quote, governmental shutdown. We pray it can be averted, but, you know, there's a lot at stake. We can't have 42 million people, 24 million to plus people, that is, losing their health care at the end of this year. It is imperative that something be done to protect people. We're all worried. We all want the best for our country. Let's do everything we can. Don't forget, you have a power. It's called the Dow. Go ahead, 202-224-3121. That's 202-224-3121. Call those senators. Call those congresspeople. Tell them no governmental shutdown, no taking away of health care. Get on it right now. If you haven't done it today, you do it either during the show or as soon as the show is over. 202-224-3121. We also want to give our condolences to the families in Michigan, but also everywhere around this country where gun violence, has stolen the lives and injured so many. There's no answer to this other than gun control. And until we get to gun control, I don't want to hear about people's thoughts and prayers. I want those who have the power to use it to protect us from this runaway gun violence. All right. With that said, Daryl, let's introduce our guest. Hey, Daryl, you bring up that mighty attorney Terry O'Neill.
Oh, my goodness, Barbara. She might as well be the third co-host on the show. We have her on so much, and she's so brilliant and such an insight that she brings to the show. She has just been around for a moment, and she's just brilliant with her legal analysis, her political analysis. She led the National Organization for Women. She's a board member of the Transformative Justice Coalition. She's an attorney. She's a friend. She's a scholar. she also used to have a podcast, so she's all over the place. And boy, she's going to bring folks an interesting perspective, because not only is she a person that understands how D.C. operates, but she lives in Oregon, and when we talk about Oregon, she'll be able to talk about what's happening there. She's none other than Terry O'Neill. Terry, welcome back to the show.
Hey, thanks, Daryl. Hey, Barbara. Really good to hear both of your voices.
Oh, it's a joy to have you. Thank you so much, Terry. And our next guest that we want to introduce is Jaheem McLaurin. Oh, now, you know, everybody knows TJC, Transformative Justice Coalition, really our specialty, our niche, our obsession is helping Gen Z and young millennials to be leaders to their maximum capacity in our society when it comes to the issues of voting rights and democracy. Jaheem is amazing, and he will be on our show to talk about some of the amazing work he's done. Jaheem McLaurin is a civic leader, strategist, and advocate committed to fighting for communities too often left behind and standing up against Trump's extremist agenda. He's a proud Bennetville, South Carolina native. Go on now. He has worked across government campaigns and advocacy organizations, from serving as a mayor's fellow to advancing democracy and justice as a national organizer. He's a former candidate for Marlborough County Council and the 2024 Democratic National Convention delegate. Oh, yes, he was there in Chicago. We saw him. Jaheem brings his lived experience and relentless commitment to people-centered change to every space he enters. Welcome, Jaheem McLaurin.
Good afternoon, Dr. Arnwine and Daryl. It's so great to be with you all, and really appreciative for the opportunity. Excited to jump in.
All right now. And we are so grateful to Terry O'Neill for reaching out to Portland and saying they must have people who are on the ground in the fight, because that's what we care about. That's who we are. That's what we do. We get on the ground. We fight with communities, and we are so blessed that two people were able to come with us today and be on this show. I'm going to introduce Daryl. Thank you, Daryl, so much, because Daryl is one of the elected leadership members of 5051. You know, we've been talking about 5051 in Portland. Their group has been putting on the large-scale protests, including April 5th, and the No Kings June 14th. You know about those events because TJC was at both of them. We were at the No Kings in San Antonio, and we spoke at we were at the Hands Off, that is, in San Antonio, and we were at the No Kings in Chicago. So you've heard us talk about that, and the GTLO, John Lewis, Good Trouble Lives On, all of the organizing that is going on. Their group has organized the March for the Emergency rally yesterday that was held in Portland, and they are working on, you got it, what we've been talking about, October the 18th, No Kings 2. Get ready, folks. We're coming. Their group has also been instrumental in protests since Trump has taken office all over Portland. They recently made inroads with the city and the governor's office to receive information straight from them about what's going on, their upcoming actions and events. We are so happy and honored to have with us today Daryl. Hey, Daryl.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm really happy to be here speaking for Portlanders on the ground.
Daryl, thank you so much. Is there anything that I did not include in your background that people need to know? Because it's an amazing background. Love this activism.
That's my activist background, but my day job is being a mom to 3 kids and a nurse practitioner in the emergency department here, so I hold a lot of roles.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. Daryl, come on, bring on our next guest.
Oh, yeah, Barbara. We're also really pleased to have with us Malcolm Gregory Scott. And Malcolm Scott, Barbara, he's out of East Portland, Oregon, and he's part of Indivisible. He's one of the Indivisible organizers there in East Portland. You know, Barbara, he's an activist. He's a writer. He's an AIDS survivor. I mean, Barbara, this has just been in the mix of fighting and surviving and knows what it's like to stand up to the government, knows what it's like to stand up for rights, knows what it's like to go up against the odds and win. So, Barbara, it's so exciting for us to bring forward Malcolm Gregory Scott. Barbara, let me tell you, Indivisible, as everybody knows, you know, they've been in this fight before, and they'll be in the fight again. And he is one of the people that knows how to fight. He's come up. He was a part of the U.S. Navy, but we know he knows how to fight. Barbara, it's so much of my pleasure to bring forward Malcolm Gregory Scott. Malcolm Scott, welcome to Igniting Change.
Good morning, y'all, and thanks so much for having me. Really happy to be here this morning.
We're glad that you're here, and thanks for being with us. Everyone listening, the subject of our show today is Fascism Forward, ? What you need, when we say you, we're talking about the listeners throughout the country in all 45 cities and all of those in the 13 nations that listen to this show. We are saying today what you need to know about Trump's undermining of constitutional protections of free speech and assembly, from the Jimmy Kimmel attack to the Portland militarization to this new it's actually an executive memorandum threatening nonprofits and more. We are so glad that we can bring this show to you today. So let's get straight into it. The first thing we want to do, of course, is to give a whole lot of thanks and shout-outs of appreciation for all those people who came to our 10th anniversary reception at Reed Smith. A big shout-out of love to our host, Scott Bolden, who was just brilliant. Big shout-out of love to our foot soldiers, and a shout-out of love to Fire Rose and all of the amazing guests who showed up for that 10th anniversary. Right, Daryl?
Absolutely, Barbara. You know, Betty Boynton, who's one of the original foot soldiers who crossed that bridge in Selma, Alabama in 1965, when she was a teenager, wasn't old enough to vote, but old enough to stand up to know what was right. So grateful to have her come through and talk, and as well as Phil Hunter, who he too was under the age of 18 when he crossed that Edmund Pettus Bridge, but now he's become an attorney and has continued to fight for voting rights and civil rights throughout the country. It was great hearing from both of them and their lived experiences and what it was like to face down the Alabama State Troopers as they went over the Edmund Pettus Bridge, Barbara.
Yes, and it was really beautiful to look out in the audience and to see all of our TJC alumni, young advocates, to see these amazing, Gen Z and young millennial leaders in the audience who came to be part of it. And we also, TJC never does things light, right? We do a reception. We bring in the spirit. I don't think that law firm has recovered yet from all those freedom songs and all of what was going on there. But I will say that we also work with the National Urban League, with Howard University, with the men's basketball team, and with with Critical Exposure and other organizations to have a mostly all day Saturday program for young people and for young advocates, and to talk about what does it mean to be an advocate in this time. And Jaheem McLaurin, you were one of the presenters at that event. Jaheem, what does that mean to you to be working along with the brilliant Jordan, the brilliant Atty for that program? Tell us about it.
So, yes, Dr. Arnwine, as you stated last week at the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation's AOC, one of the biggest highlights for me was simply being in community, connecting with so many leaders, young and seasoned, who are committed to justice. TJC, the National Urban League Say Something Emerging Leaders Summit was especially powerful. I believe convenience like that was needed for young leaders, needed in the space to share strategies, build solidarity,